So, you're building a strategy for your business. Where do you even start? One of the biggest hurdles is figuring out all the outside forces that could impact your company. I mean, from new government rules to what's trending on social media, that list can feel endless. How do you sort through all that noise? And you really don't want to get this wrong, because missing even one key external factor could completely derail your strategy, leaving you open to threats you just didn't see coming. That's why having a solid, structured tool is not just nice to have, it's absolutely essential. And that tool is the PEST analysis. Think of it as a 360-degree scanner for your business environment. It's a framework built specifically to make sure you're looking at everything so no major threats or opportunities slip through the cracks. And hey, this isn't some new trend. The PESTEL model was actually developed way back in the late 1960s by a Harvard professor named Francis Aguilar. So for more than 50 years, it's been a go-to tool for strategic planning. It's really stood the test of time.
The real beauty of PESTEL is its simple but really thorough structure. The name itself is actually an acronym for the 6 big categories of external forces it helps you examine: political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal. Let's quickly walk through each one.
First up, political factors. This category is all about how government actions and international relations can change the playing field for your business. We're talking about things like trade policies, tax laws, and even just the general stability of the government.
Next, we have economic factors. These are those big picture financial forces, things like inflation, interest rates, and overall economic growth. And what's super important here is the amount of disposable income your customers have, because that directly impacts how much they can spend. Then there are social factors. This is all about people, the culture, the demographics, and the trends. Are lifestyles changing? Is the population getting older? Is there a big push for health and wellness? These kinds of shifts can totally change what your customers want and value. And of course, there is technology, a category that moves at lightning speed and can create huge opportunities or huge threats. Here you need to think about the impact of automation, the rise of AI, or new software that could completely disrupt your entire industry. The fifth factor is environmental, and this one has become more and more critical over the last few years. It covers all those ecological issues like climate change, the demand for sustainability, and new rules around waste and pollution. And finally, we have legal factors. This bucket includes all the specific laws and regulations your business has to play by. This could be anything from copyright laws to consumer protection rules, and of course, health and safety standards. Okay, so how do you actually do a PESTEL analysis? It's a pretty simple 3-step process. First, just brainstorm and list every single external pressure you can think of. Second, take that big list and sort everything into the 6 PESTEL categories. And third, and this is the most important part, trim that list down to the core forces you can actually do something about. That's what focuses your strategy on what really matters.
Let's make this more concrete. Imagine for a second you're a car manufacturer. Under political, new government subsidies for electric cars, that's a huge opportunity. But then under economic, rising interest rates are a threat because they make car loans more expensive for your customers. You can see how each category here highlights a totally different threat or opportunity.
Now, a quick but really important point. You might have heard of a SWOT analysis. While they're both useful, the key difference is that PESTEL looks only at the external big picture environment. SWOT, on the other hand, looks at both the external world and your company's internal strengths and weaknesses. And this really gets to the heart of why this framework is so powerful. As Professor Russell Freilich puts it, PESTEL's main value is that it's systematic. It makes you look at the world through 6 different lenses, which helps ensure you don't end up with any major strategic blind spots. Which brings us to our final and most important takeaway. A PESTEL analysis won't hand you a finished strategy on a silver platter. But what it does do is give you that essential foundation, a clear, well-rounded understanding of the world you're operating in. It's the critical first step you need to take to build a smart, resilient strategy that can actually succeed.